Hello again, people. Right, this is take two of my second trade of the day. I messed it up because I had a coughing fit and couldn't press pause quick enough. So that's why there's a lot of lines on this chart. But really and truthfully, the whole thing was instigated as a result of the H4 we talked about earlier. Massive bearish bar on this actually. Big old red candle. Bar had turned red on here from green. That meant the retracement, that little green candle there, was done and dusted. So the only way for this price to go, based on that H4, was down. And it doesn't take Einstein to see that the pound is tanking at the moment. That's really the correct two levels there to connect this ascending trend line. Clearly broken that as well. My first trade was during this 4-hour bar. The second trade for the day is the one I'm pointing out now. 4 hour as well. Clearly bearish because the 4-hour candle prior to this one, and I've been waiting patiently for this trade, was with a little dog walk in between, was the fact that this was red and still falling strongly. So the momentum is down. There's no other word for it. That's all there is to this. So it's just a question of being around when things start to light up again, as it were. We've got this we've got this thing going on as well on the hourly chart. You know, I like this so much, this change from green to red below the zero line. It just hasn't had the power, the buying power involved. Here's one as well to create any momentum to the upside. So I absolutely love that, as you know, and it is solid. What can I say about H1? I entered H1 when it was red. It did subsequently turn green, but so that's why that looks a little bit out of sync there. M30 was turning red. I'd drawn all my levels on these charts from the monthly down. That's something that's important to mention as well. So there was clear air. Whoops, don't need that. There was absolutely clear air from where we were. Just put that on the 30-minute down to, I can't remember because I messed up the chart and had to put the template back on it, so I lost all my lines. But I had drawn lines as I usually do, and there was absolute clear air for a good 40 pips, if I remember correctly. Right down to the H4. There was an H4 low below us from way over on the side there. So I will just show you what, I won't show you the levels, but I'll show you what I look at. I'm looking over on the left here for problems, because the price is in the range of this candle here. The only really thing that can affect it is anything inside that candle. So as you can see, there's a long way this has got to go. That was the weekly. The monthly showed nothing untoward on that left hand side either there, and then excuse me, and here and here. I said I wasn't going to do this, didn't I? But now I'm here, I will do it. I also draw what I call a flip zone on these levels. I've mentioned that before in a video. So this is the level that the two wicks pushed back to. PPZ zone, flip zone, call it what you like. So those levels are all on the chart now, and you know, you can go down on the daily and do the same thing. Go over to the left hand side, make sure you're not pumping into any daily stuff, and then come into the entry. You can see now that flip zone that I'd drawn was the exact point that the price did suffer or struggle here, and and then finally broke through. That flip zone isn't precise, remember, so it will have changed as you moved to the lower time frames, but it's always nice to have a zone, if you like, to aim for. And then there was the good old S2 below us as well. We all know the big traders look at these pivot points. It should be mentioned as well that the pivot points are all calculated on different platforms and so on and so forth, so they can be vague as well. So in my opinion, although this did hit this almost to the pip, always just be careful and cut your targets a little bit short. Remember also, you've got the spread to take into account when you're selling. You know, you may hit the level you want to, but then you've still got to cover the spread, in this case almost 2 pips. So these are all things to keep in mind when you're setting your targets, as it were, based on supply and demand. And then down to the 5-minute and 1-minute chart to explain this particular level here. I do use, but I don't explain quite enough, the importance of the line chart, because on the 1-minute chart here, you hadn't broken this low when I entered, but on the line chart we'd actually trended through it. High, low, lower high, lower low. As you can see, it's broken the low of that previous lower low, or the first lower low, should I say. So we've got a trend in place: high, low, lower high, lower low, and then I entered, and that was it. 15 pips in the bank. I hope this explanation doesn't confuse you too much. It is not my intention to confuse anyone. It is just my intention to try to bring intention to bring your attention to everything that goes through my mind before I enter a trade. So I hope this hasn't confused you. Have a good day. I'm going for a longer walk now. Thank you for watching. Green pips to all of you.